Demon keeps dreaming of a demon town. Motherfucker, bitch, fuck, shit went down. Fleming's got an itch, scratch it with a bitch. Demon keeps dreaming of a demon town. Ooh, Johnson, that's my name.
Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, introducing you to my Shadows of the Damned Satanic Hell difficulty video walkthrough. This is the level 3-1 and this is the bug hunt. So at the start of this we're going to be in this lovely courtyard. We're going to see the first of the Sisters Grimm as they hang Paula from this church tower. And it's just another testament to the insanity of this game. And when you push forward here, you're going to be faced with this enemy spawning wall. And this is one of the first instances where you actually have these walls that do this. And a bunch of guys are going to turn up. We've just unlocked the Teether, or whatever this gun is called on the first level, which is the submachine gun. And it's a good weapon, it's a fun weapon to use. I'm shooting these dudes, I don't know why. I should probably just do the light shot and execute like I just did there. It is a much more reliable strategy, it enables you to save ammo, and it's a one-hit kill. But I'm probably feeling a little bit happy-go-lucky. Obviously, as you can see, there is some of the light boxes that you can use as explosives if you need to. And just go to town. There is a couple spawns. These are like the advanced enemies, because you can tell he's got horns, and that guy's got the double horns, like a sheep, or a ram, should I say. And just keep picking dudes off, because this is like the first fight of the level. Nothing too challenging. And as I mentioned in previous videos, the levels themselves on this game are very simple. It's not too bad at all. There is a boss fight coming up though, which is a pain in the ass because it's a one-hit kill, and that is not fun. But aside from that, it's not too bad. So when you come through here, you're going to see the lovely shitting bat guy again. I forget his name. I think he's called Will. And the darkness is going to start rising in this church tower. So all you want to do is run all the way to the top, completely ignore the enemies on the way, and you're going to be jumping through this window here next to that pyramid head geezer. And if you run all the way out here, pick up the ammo and the bottles, it'll cue this little cutscene showing you the Castle of Hassel, and then you're going to get attacked by one of the heavy dudes with the boomerang arm things. And this guy's not too bad. It's a decent arena to fight him because you've got enough room to move, and it should make it pretty easy. What I like to do with these guys is I like to use the skull cushioner, the lovely skull shotgun, and obviously you hit them with a light shot, excuse me, and then you hit him on his back with the skull gun. So there's also a couple guys with him. If you shoot them or if you take them out, oh goodness me, I'm getting my shit pushed in already. I should have focused on the guys and just rolled a bit, because the biggest problem with this game is turning around in this survival horror bullshit control scheme. You can do the tap A to do the quick turn, but sometimes you don't want to do the quick turn. Sometimes you want to turn like a semicircle, and you can't do it, or like half a circle or whatever. And it can make it a little bit awkward, especially when because this guy always rushes you. This guy will always be up your ass. But luckily enough, as soon as you start getting him in a loop where you hit him with a light shot and you shotgun him, it goes down pretty quickly. One thing I have found about this game though, and I don't know what it is, I don't know if it's hit detection, I don't know if it's a glitch, I don't know if it's just bullshit, but sometimes when you fight an enemy like this that has a weak spot, or the enemies that have the electrodes on top of their arms, you'll shoot them for ages, you'll put so many bullets into them and they'll just not die. And it's almost as if the game is glitching out on you, and it makes no sense. And at other times, you'll shoot them a handful of times and they'll die super quick. It's really weird, and there is short work of that dude anyhow. Pick up the lovely jewels. Now all you have to do is light shot the goat head, and it's going to enable us to go and drop into the sewer system of the level. And I'm coming up on 1,000 videos as well, which I've mentioned in other videos, but I've not really gone into too much detail. What I'm going to be doing for it is, I don't know, per se what I'm going to be doing as in an event to celebrate it, but I am up for suggestions. If anybody has anything that they'd like to see, anything they'd like me to do as like a special commemorative, video, then I'm up for suggestions. I can't guarantee that I'll do them, but I can definitely look into them. What will be happening though is I'm going to be making a new intro, so for the people that have enjoyed the Deus Ex one, it's going to be your last few videos with that on. For the people that are kind of starting to get annoyed by it and want to skip it, then you're going to be getting a new and shorter intro. The next one is going to be half the length of this one, purely because this one was especially long and indulgent, and I said on the very video that I premiered it on that the next one would be shorter to kind of repay the people that didn't enjoy it as much as I did. But You come down into the sewers anyhow. You're going to get attacked by the little shit things, and these are one of the most lethal enemies on the game if they attack you, because they can proper do some serious damage. One cool thing about this though, if you back up, they have trouble coming through the gate. You'll notice they like to jump to the side, and on the sides of this wall is the gate. They can't do a thing, and it enables you to shoot them like fish in a barrel and clean them up very quickly. And light shot shoot, there he goes, pick up the jewels, and then you can keep pushing forward. But for the most, this sewer is pretty simple. There's a couple of light puzzles that will steal your life if you're not careful, but there is a lot of liquor knocking around for you to pick up. And at this point, you shouldn't have used too much of the alcohol unless you were having real trouble, and you should have a lovely, nice stash of it. And my mentality is, unless you're upgrading your life, feel free to use the alcohol as you want. It's very cheap to buy. There's lots of it spill, around the levels. You should never really be too low on alcohol. There was one fight on the game, my first time through, when I actually got low on alcohol. And that was the third Sister's Grim, and if that dog doesn't stop barking, I'm going to fucking kick it to death. But the irony of that is, the time when I got to her on my Satanic Hell playthrough, because I knew what I was doing, she actually turned out to be the easiest of the Grim bosses. And on my first playthrough on Legion Hunter, she was probably the hardest boss on the game for me, because she just kept hitting me, and I kept using a lot of my alcohol. A little technique for this fight: if you move towards the gate, you will come out of the water and you'll be able to see the crawling things a hell of a lot easier. When they're in the water, they can be a bit of a pain in the ass to see, because sometimes it's deep enough to hide them. And there's a couple of instances where it does this, like right there, you just can't see a damn thing as it gets deeper, and it's a little bit frustrating. But just use the guns that you have, and just do your best, and you shouldn't have any real issue with it. I'll tell you something that I found strange the other day. I'm watching back through Firefly, the science fiction show by Joss Whedon, and if you've never seen it, I would definitely recommend checking it out, because I was one of those people that I absolutely hated Buffy. I hated Angel, I hated all that shit. I just thought it was so overrated and so boring. And I avoided Firefly because I knew it was done by the same guy. But Firefly is amazing. Firefly is one of those shows where I just don't understand why they cancelled it, because like, I would probably rather watch that over any other science fiction series ever, because it's just so good, and the cast is so tight. Everything about it is fantastic. It's well worth watching. It's kind of like a science fiction western space opera. It's amazing. But it done half rip off Outlaw Star, like, to the nth degree, and I only just noticed this the other day. And I probably noticed it before, had this opinion before, but I didn't have any kind of medium to voice it, so I'm doing it now. But Outlaw Star was made in 1998. It is a Japanese anime. It is about a bunch of bounty hunters that go out to space on a stolen ship, and they pretty much take missions, take jobs, and get themselves into a whole bunch of trouble, and end up getting into this massive fight against this group of crazy assassins. And it's an awesome anime. I love it to death. I've loved it for many years. But there's one theme in this show, which is this girl called Melfina, and she's an artificial human who is used with this stolen ship to become like the best ship in the universe. It is amazing, and they find her on the very first episode. She's in a box, she's been stored, and the main character opens it, and she's like in the fetus position in the box, completely naked. The exact same thing happens on Firefly. There's this girl called Sky, or River, sorry, not Sky, she's called River. She's kind of like this savant kid who's also been experimented on to be this super ridiculous weapon. And they first meet her, she's in a storage box, they open it, it's the exact same thing, she's naked in the fetal position, and it's just like, that was made in 2002, 4 years after Outlaw Star. It's like, come on, Joss, at least drop some fucking, homage or something. That is a full-on plot point rip-off. And I'm not knocking Firefly, because it's still a good show, and it's really, really close to Outlaw Star, but it's so blatantly similar, it's ridiculous. It's like fucking, when Dante's Peak came out and they went and made Volcano, and you're like, I love you, Tommy Lee, but you're pretty much just doing a Pierce Brosnan right now. But I've completely talked through that enemy spawner there. That is another opportunity to farm gems if you want to do it. If you're going for the achievement, you can just keep killing enemies at that and max your gems out at 999. That will enable you to buy a shit ton of upgrades if you need them. I obviously didn't do it because I'm not doing any of that in the guide, but I did it in a consecutive playthrough to get the achievement. It was well worth it. and then you just have to run around, pick up some more of the shit, and then push forward. And they've already announced the next game that Suda51 are working on, which is the fucking crazy, like, chainsaw cheerleader game, which, hopefully, if it's got good combat mechanics, could be really, really fun, and I'm looking forward to doing a guide to it, but I don't know, because this game had some serious problems, so I'm expecting problems with that one. It seems to be the Suda51 thing of making games that are really eclectic and loved by few, but kind of broken at the same time. But on this area here, if you push through as quickly as I did, you can get to the hand, you can rip him a new one, and it will deactivate all the darkness. You'll notice I took a lot of damage, so I'm thinking right now I should probably use some healing items, and instead of using the sake, I use some tequila. The luxury of my life, because it's so small, the sake does heal me a lot, the tequila heals me full regardless. If you upgrade your life though, you will need more than one sake, and you will obviously need more than one sake, you'll need more than one tequila too. There is absinthe, which I think is a full heal, but I never really used it during the game, if I'm completely honest. One strategy I don't know if I've mentioned that I probably should for people upgrading the life. The life on this game is just like Batman Arkham Asylum, and it's just like Ninja Gaiden 2. When you use a point to upgrade your life, not only does it extend the life, but it completely heals you. So the best time to upgrade your life is when you're really injured. And if you do it that way, it's a free heal. And if you're upgrading your life to max, you're going to have 10 full heals. And it's a really good strategy to get into because it makes the game exceptionally easy. It's something I wish that Ninja Gaiden Sigma had, actually, because the first Ninja Gaiden, when you use a Life of the Thousand Gods, it does not refill your life. And it's a big shame, because it would super help. But I'm not too sure what I'm doing here. I dropped down. I was having trouble dropping down, apparently. There's the checkpoint shit, and over here is another vending machine for you to buy some healing items, should you need to. My personal mentality, my mantra on this game is to never buy anything other than upgrades. Don't buy ammo, do not buy alcohol. You do not need to do it. The game provides you with enough to get by. But this is a pretty big gauntlet, and this is another area where the enemies can go in the water, and they can sometimes be a little bit harder to hit because you can't see them as well. This is nowhere near as bad as the room we were in previously, but the one difference is those little shits climb up to the goats and they turn it into night. So you need to be really careful of that, because it's going to give all the enemies shields and it's going to make them just a fucking nuisance. Because as soon as it turns back to night, back to day, sorry, another one of those crawly guys is going to run over to the goat and he's going to try and deactivate the light again. So you need to be aware of this. Look, he's climbing up as I speak. The best thing about it is the same animation every time they do it, so it's really easy to kill them when they're doing it. You can hit them with the light shot, then execute them on the ground, or you can just shoot them with a shotgun from 2 yards and kill them that way. Both strategies will work, both strategies are effective. And you'll notice that the exterior of this room is littered with alcohol. The reason for this is a pretty long fight, and then after this we're going to be taking on a boss, which is not so much a long fight, but it's an annoying fight more than anything. And if you've got a bigger life than I have, you may be able to survive the attacks that the witch throws at you, but when she does the lunge and the swipe, it is a one-hit kill if your life's as small as mine, so you need to be super careful of it. And it's one of the most frustrating boss fights on the game because she's really hard to hit with the light shot, she evades you. And right there is me trying out using the punch with the torch. It is a move that is pretty much useless on this game unless you fully charge it, and even then you can just shoot dudes. It's not like you ever need to conserve your ammo. I don't see a point really. But keep on cleaning these guys up, keep on slapping their asses and showing them who's Garcia Fucking Hotspur, and eventually there'll be another spawn of enemies, and this time it's going to be runners and it's going to be armoured guys. So once you kill this guy, there is that noise just then triggers this cutscene. Here comes a couple of the normal dudes, and you just want to repeat the usual strategy here. You want to kill these guys as quick as you can, stun them, then do the execution, and just be aware of where the two big fellas are, because the big fellas are one of the easiest enemies on the game because they're slow, but if they hit you, they hurt a lot. And the easiest way to kill them is to shoot the masks off with the skull cushioner and then shoot the heads off with a second shot. Sometimes because of the way that the head bobs when they move, it can be difficult to do, but if you time it like that, it is a two-shot kill. It is exceptionally simple to do, and it's quick work of a potentially difficult enemy. But there you go, there goes the second heavy dude. This is the cutscene of the boss turning up, but like I say, this is going to be reserved to the next video. She's a giant pain in the ass, but with a little bit of luck and a little bit of aiming, you should be able to get through it. But thanks for watching anyhow, guys. I hope it's helping, and you take care now.